So I sold my sport bike the other day. I don't know exactly all the details of what it was, but I had an itch, and so I sold that and I bought this. This is a 2007 CRF450X. X means it's a wide gear ratio. And I want to put a license plate on the back of it. When I went to buy it from the guy, it said it had lights front and back. I thought he meant turn signals. Said it had a speedo, and he meant trip odometer. It's funny as they run this big heavy speedometer cable for this, and they got that whole housing and everything for it. I thought that was kind of a wasteful way to do it when you can do it electronically. But anyway, it's electric start. It sounds awesome. It's been babied. It's got the aftermarket pipe that's kind of a pants melter, like my R has, but it's got the little screen, the spark arrestor, so I can go run it in the forest. But anyway, this is the end of my shopping list of what it took to get this thing legal. It was like $700 when it was all said and done, because you got to get DOT approved tires, you got to get the tail light. I got the whole kit as a kit because it was a lot cheaper. It's $170 from Rocky Mountain. Even though I already have this, and I already have a brake light sensor, and I already have a horn, you know, that's mounted right down in there. And what else did it have? It had something else, but anyway, I'm still not up to par because I still have to get a headlight. Like a secondary headlight, so you have high beam and low beam. So I'll have to drill a hole in the top here and insert one of those little rubber plug 194 bulbs or something. So I'll have high and low. And it's going to be quite the ordeal. It's already got the electric start on it, and that's all fine and nice and good. This is the horn button that they had. So they had tail lights here, and they had brake lights here, and so anyway, and the horn sounds terrible, so I just got the new horn. These are the signals that are going in the back, I believe. I'm going to tag them into the sides of the plastic thing here. I'm going to go with this one because it's LED and it consumes less power than this one does. Could put an LED bulb in it, but I think that one's kind of ugly anyway. This one looks cooler in my opinion. I don't know, they're both kind of fug. But so I got my turn signal switch, I got the wire harness, I got a kill switch, like a solid one that you don't have to hold down like this. Anyway, it's going to be quite the project. I got to have a mirror, and got to have a speedometer, so I got the Vapor by Trail Tech. They had another one that I was going to get that was, let's see, this one was 116. The other one was 251. It had the GPS built into it. I was concerned because it was so fat, for one, but then when I looked at the back of the package on the other one, it said that it does not include wheel sensor, that was extra. And I'm like, that's the whole thing I need it for, is to be a speedometer. They list it as a computer. This is listed as a speedometer tachometer. This has a sensor for your engine temperature for your radiator, so that's nice to have too. Anyway, it's going to be quite the project, but I just thought I'd throw that up. I'm trying to decide how much of that I want to do how-to videos on, but it's not too bad. You have to pull the, I like to pull the tank because I run the wires all underneath the tank. You can run them around under the shroud if you wanted to. You got to pull the seat off and do all kinds of stuff that way. The other things that were not included in the kit is a key, like an ignition key. I want to be able to turn the key on, and with the key on be able to access, you know, lights and everything. This is an electric start from the factory, and I love that. It's really nice for a lot of the technical rides that I do. If you stall and you're like precariously, you know, like hanging from a tree, try not to fall down the face of the mountain or off a cliff, it's nice to not have to kick with all you've got. You can just hit the button, get it in gear, and save your own hide. But it does have the kickstart, you know, so if your battery goes dead or whatever, you still have means for starting your bike without having to push start it or pop start it. So that's nice. What else was I gonna say? That's it. It's got a couple of, you know, it's a shame to have to put new tires on it because I still have a lot of meat on these, but these are really soft tires. These would be bald in short order riding on the road. So this is going to be my new parts running bike because I don't have to go very far to get parts. So anyway, should be good. Seems like a lot of fuss to put all this street legal stuff on, but speaking of legal, in my area there's a bunch of trails where motorcycles are not allowed, but enduro bikes are allowed. So, you know, if you put a license plate on the back, all of a sudden you can ride that trail. If you don't, then you can't. So I think it's really important for people to have brake lights on the trail. That must be why they want it to be that way. But cheers. Let me know in the comments if there's anything of this that you want to see specifically, because I'll probably do some parts of it but not all of it, because I just want to get it done. I want to get it on. I'm excited to get played on there. So one of the reasons why I did that is I wanted to do some rides with the family and make it kind of a family thing. Like having a boat, it's easy, just chuck everybody in the boat. Well, I like bikes, and so we got this one for my wife. It's a CRF450L, and we've already taken it out and crashed it. Thank you very much. It's all set up and ready to go, so it's pretty sweet that way. And didn't have to do any legalizing kits. It was already done, and it purrs. It's a great little bike for going and turning the irrigation ditches too, so that's nice. So somebody might reasonably ask, well, how much does it weigh, or how much are you adding in weight to make this street legal? This is without the radiator braces, and I can't see. It is 1.745 kilograms, and in the caveman system it's about 3 pounds, 3.15 pounds. Not 3.15 because it's stupid ounces and there's 16, not 10. So 3 pounds, 14 ounces, give or take. And that's for your horn and mirrors and all that yip yap. So there's what my headlight looks like. It looks pretty white, which I really like. I'm not into the whole blue light thing. Pardon my filming nothing for a moment. This is what it looks like from the back side. Let me turn on some lights and you can see. But from the back side you've got this teeny tiny little ballast, some kind of booster box that conveniently goes where an old plug went, and then the bracket, I just put a little nip in it so that it could go around the wires, and just pulled out the original bulb. I shaved that one down to work. Oh, that's fun. You got the disco ball glowing. A little spin on that. Squirrel. Yeah, that's nice. So anyway, that's the headlight setup. I've got my turn signals and my tail light brake light installed, and I've got my front turn signal set up in the bar guards that you can see there. There and there, and they're LED. They're super bright. So nice thing is that this is like a 35 watt or 30 watt. It uses less power than the other one, or about the same, and you get a lot more light output out of it. So pretty excited about that. This will be my high beam for like trail riding and stuff, and then I need to come up with something for a low beam. But it's coming along. I've got the radiator braces. I got to put those on still, and I got my switches set up. I got a switch for my turn signal, headlights, and horn, and then I got my kill switch put on. And later I'll probably swap to an integrated kill switch, starter switch, you know, like a lot of stock bikes have. I need to build a bracket for my speedometer. I've got vapor kicking around here somewhere that I'll be putting on, and it's got engine temperature sensor and tachometer and everything on it. So it's coming along, not fast enough. I need therapy. This is my therapist, you know, if you get that joke. But anyway, I'm pretty excited. I just found out this week I got 10,000 subscribers, so that's pretty exciting. That's a good milestone for me. So I'd like to thank everybody that's subscribing and commenting. I love hearing from you guys, by the way. So anyway, this ballast is starting to burn my hand a little. I think I'm going to turn this off. So I want my ignition switch to go right in here, so that when this is closed you have just like a little keyhole right there. And so I'm making a bracket. I trace this onto some paper, poked hole in the tracing. You can kind of see where the center is. So while it's on there, I poke holes in the dead center of each of those holes, and then using that paper and then just kind of a jig that I rigged up, I made this guy that looks like he's really scared. When you look at the drawing there on the metal, see, it looks like a guy saying, "Oh no!" and he's got 3 eyes. So I'm going to cut that out with the plasma cutter and try my lock in it. Wish me luck. I'm all suited up. This is the paper that I used, by the way. See? So probably cut the shape last, do the holes first. Oh, there's no compressed air present. Interesting. Must have been from when I replaced the coupler, I didn't reconnect the compressor. Well, I did a lot today without the air compressor. Oh, that's going to be a lot better. I'm like, I just put a new tip on. This has got to be awesome. I'll do a little practice cut here. Yeah, that's probably a little too hot, but we're going to rock it anyway. What I'm going for. Anyway, there's my scared guy. I'm gonna clean it up on the grinder bench and see how it turns out. We'll see. So there's my key switch that I came up with impatiently. It's actually a John Deere switch, but it'll work for what I'm doing. And see, the bracket turned out pretty decent, not bad. The brackets online were, I think they were like $50 or something. So anyway, it took me less time to make that than it would for picking one out. I'm happy with it, I like it. Thought I'd show how the HID turned out. When you look in there, you can see the HID bulb is that big long sucker. So that turned out pretty good. When you look down here, I still need to make a bracket to hold the ballast resistor because it does get hot. I got the heat shield tape, the professional kind of stuff you put on the back of, you know, automotive application things. But I'm going to do a flat bracket, I think, and have that screw onto the bracket so that all the heat or whatever can go straight up and out. And then my other little bracket will go across here. And then I've got this little computer that's going to mount in there. And it's going to be mounted a little bit higher, so you'll see that over the top of it. But basically, because I'm not mounting this to the bar because I want to keep the pad so I don't get a chest injury or something on it, I'm going to mount it to a steel plate and just have it crimp down on it. Maybe design something that it sits into. I just want that to be about right there. So what I'll do is I'll do a plate across those two little tabs that you see, and then I'll do another plate welded, butt welded at 90 degrees, and mount that like that. That should be pretty slick. So I'll have my key and my computer set up and my HID headlight system. I need something for a low beam light, but I'm still thinking about that. but I did get the wire harness in. It goes along the frame next to the factory harness and just kind of comes along here, same old, same old. I really like the way that it turned out. You know, I cut this just a little bit bigger, so it's just like the factory wire setup that's in there, just more of it. I got my works connection radiator braces on, and that was perfect to plug the hole where that flag mount was. I got my lights all set up and looking pretty. Got my pretty radiator braces on, so we can put the tank back on as soon as we get the rest of this wiring done and tucked. And I'm getting really anxious to ride. Got my turn signals mounted. You can see them right here. They are super bright. You'll see a video of that when I get it done. But as I showed you before, my switches are mounted. That's how that turned out. I had to take this all the way off, the brake assembly one, and put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. I had to take the little steel bracket that's a wire guard back there and bend that down a little so it didn't hit the glass for the sight window. I can still check my sight window, but it's just not as obvious as before. Later I'll get another switch that is a combination of both of those. But this will get it legal in the meantime. Special thanks and shout out to everybody. I reached 10,000 subscribers. That's pretty exciting. That's pretty cool for me. Had another milestone recently of 500 videos, so things are really up and running, and I've been able to help a lot of people. When I go through the comments, I get a whole bunch of thank yous, and that gets me excited. I really like that. Makes me feel like I make a difference in the world for good. So I'm really excited about that, and I wanted to say thank you. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll answer them as soon as I get back from my ride.